And welcome to Thehayteamtv. Straw in a barn, straw in a trailer. New season straw is here. And it, even a bit high for me. Lovely, soft, yellow. I don't know if you can see on camera. It has been hit by the weather a little bit. It's got that. So if you know what I mean by really fresh barley smell and it's really shiny, it's like just gone off that. So it's been rained on a bit, no one can help that. But generally, colour's good, smells like straw. Now, the biggest thing is we've got to get from these to the small ones ASAP, because there is, basically we are out. Completely run out of straw. So I've got to convert that all day. HRS, he is, I don't know where it is, we'll find him in a minute. If you haven't yet done so, please hit the subscribe, that'd be amazing. Give us a thumbs up, as I put my hand up a second ago. That'd be fantastic. And let's get to everything we got to do.
So today you're joining me in the workshop. Something a little bit different, it's raining, it's wet, I can't go on delivery, so I'm doing a job that I've been waiting to do for a while now, actually. Now we've got all the parts. I don't know if you can remember 4 or 5 months ago, maybe? The quad bike went wrong, the belt ripped. So I took it all apart, and basically there was a lot more issues with it than first thought, blah, 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 blah. So I got on to finding some parts for the quad, because it's an Arctic Cat 700D, D meaning diesel. These quads aren't made anymore, and trying to get parts for it is a nightmare to a degree. Some dealerships have still got them, but basically they're buying up all the stock, really, and once it's ran out, it's ran out. It can come from America, but the trouble is with that is you can buy a part, which I'll show you in a minute, buy a part for, say, which is like 20 quid. By the time it comes over here, you're talking like 300 and stuff like that. By the time you pay your custom tax, you know, and all blah 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 blah, it's a lot more expensive anyway. All right, so the main problem we had was this spacer. That's all it is, spacer, spring spacer. That's all it is. So a spring sits in there, goes up against a one-way bearing, which we'll go through in a minute. And yeah, that was it. £19, that is. 19 quid. But there is a but on that. Couldn't get one anywhere. Couldn't get it from America. No one kept one over here, unless you were very lucky that someone could have had a second-hand one. But anyway, we knew a chap, Alex, who helps us out, as you've seen on previous videos. And now his mate actually machined us that for 45 quid. Now that got us out. We had to wait a little bit for him to do it. The bloke was busy. It's fair enough. But 45 quid, didn't have to come from America. And so Alex drew it up on his CAD. He actually did a CAD drawing of it, measured it all, sent it over to his mate, and that got made for us. That is, so you know, isn't it? So you know. But anyway, so that was done. So we needed that because that was absolutely mangled. Couldn't do anything with that. And we needed a one-way bearing, because the one-way bearing actually wasn't working at all as well. And that was mangled into the spacer. So if you don't know what a one-way bearing is on the CVT transmission, basically it's free spinning. Basically, it free spins the way the engine turns over. Now, usually an engine turns over clockwise, and it locks up anti-clockwise, which we'll show you in a minute. Now, what that does is actually for engine braking. So when you're going down a hill, or whatever, and you let your foot off, let your hand off the throttle, your thumb off the throttle, basically it slows down on its own. Well, ours never really did that to a certain, because it was all messed up in there. It was all gone. So we'll just go have a look at this one-way bearing in a minute. So as you can see, this is the one-way bearing. So we're spinning to the right, and she'll lock up to the left, and that is your for your engine braking. So there, so spin to the right, stop to the left. Now look at the old one. As you can see there, you see these little tabs in there? I'm just going to call them, they look like an R, really. So when that tab there, as you can see, is looking to the right, that is the right way to put your bearing on. It's that simple. But it did actually take me a while, because it was all pre-greased and all that, to get rid of some of the grease so I could actually see what the tabs looked like and worked out which way, because obviously I couldn't really go by this one because it never worked. it doesn't lock in. So because these are all really worn and had it. So yeah, so that's what it is. So like I said, they look like an R, and when they're looking like an R, that is the right way. So that would be the right way, like that, to go on. It is that simple. So all this to put together is literally, you put that on like that, your spacer and your spring, and then you've got your actually clutcher assembly here, like that. Now obviously these are all loose in there. You don't really want to lose them, and you don't want to lose your little rubber, spacers there, like that. So now that is already put on, so we'll stick all that together now. You can usually do these on the bike or off the bike, because that's your main supporting nut that holds all the clutch assembly on to the flywheel. And then I've got a nut here there, now that hold it all together, so we can actually put all that on as one anyway. But we'll stick all this together and then we'll put it on the bike. So here we are at the quad. So that there is your primary clutch, and that is your secondary clutch. So what we've got to do now, we've got to make sure that is all nice and clean where it goes on, because else you just force, not that I'm teaching anyone to suck eggs, but you're just forcing yourself against the rust. There's no need to. So we'll give that a good clean, get all that, give it a good blowout inside. Then what we've got to do is, as you can see here, I've got a bolt in there. Now what that does is, we screw that right in, that opens up the flange in here, so we can put the belt in, put it onto the clutch assembly, take that bolt out, and then that's all adjusted, and then you just let the machine do its work. So there's no tension or anything, it does it all itself. Right, so let's give that a good clean up, and then we'll start putting it back together. So as you can see, that's all nice and clean now. So that clutch assembly is all ready to go on. Now this is a fiddly bit really. It was not really fiddly. If it was up in the air, it'd be less fiddly, but we're not up in the air. We're on the floor, and this is what we got to make do. Proper farmer style. So now, let's put all those bits together and whack it on there. Right, first of all, as I was saying earlier, as you saw, we just got to put that in. We'll split this now. So we'll just get the gun, split that. Right, so that, as you can see, look, that's right open there now. So that's ready for the belt. I did try and film it, but there's not really a good angle I could have got it with my magnetic stand. Sorry, I am being a little bit vague here, but I'm trying to use both hands and film at the same time. I can't actually put my camera anywhere. I'm trying to talk you through it as best I can, and we'll do the job. That's all I can do. But there we go, that's all open now. So now we'll put that together, put it on there. Right, so that's on, that's all tight. Now what we do now is the securing bolt. So what we do now, we'll tighten up that one, take that screw out, and we'll start it up to see if it actually works. Fingers crossed, eh? Now just going back to the belt while I forget as well, usually on these they will have a rotation like an arrow. Now this one hasn't got it. Now what I do is I just make sure you can read the writing and it's going to the right hand side, if that makes sense. Simple as that, easy. Right, let's try and finish this off, and then I think we're gonna have to bump start it as well. Put the booster pack on to get that going, because it's been stood here for months. Get that out, tighten it up, and away we go. That's that. Quite simple, really. As you saw, quad bike was running. You saw the clutch going in and out all the time. You can actually see how it works. It's like a cone. So obviously, as you rev higher, it goes to the top of the cone and then it drops back down again. Well, it's the same, basically the same principle as a CVT tractor, basically, but with a belt. Same principle altogether. But yeah, quite first one I've ever done, really. Quite a simple job. What else? Yeah, that's about it, really. It's not really, it's quite a vague video, if that makes sense, because it's not the most exciting video. But if you've got one of these and you've never done one of these before, this might help. I hope it does help. But it is simple. It is really simple. If you can get the parts, it's really simple to put together. It's just a little bit time consuming. You've got to make sure everything's clean as well. You've got to make sure everything's clean in that cover. So we'll stick that cover back on now, put it all back together. I probably won't film all that. We'll come back at the end.
Finally, I've got back to the compost yard and I'm getting it all turned and moved. And at the moment, as I'm in the pit, I've already moved one pile. I didn't fancy videoing doing this because I've videoed it so many times before. So I thought I'd just do a bit of a capture. But first lot, which we'll get out, we'll have a look at it in a minute, is looking lovely. This lot is turning pretty well, and then you can see a little pile of fresh super amount of fresh wood chip over there, which will start the next base of the next pile. But I've been out here for about an hour and a half, just turning it. Pro's turning it now. It's lovely and wet. I've had drizzle for the last hour, so any dry spots that I find have been opened up to like drizzle. Obviously not now, it's sort of cleared out of it now, but just having that moisture about is very useful. Dry straw, not quite such a big deal. Dry wood chip, that's a problem. And then also been near, because it all leans away and there's like a bit of water, I'll quite happily scoop a bit of the watery sludge up so it's going in a bucket load. So if there is any dry bits, there's water being added. The idea of this is getting the oxygen to it so it becomes aerobic rather than being anaerobic, doing its own thing, which it could end up self-combusting. So, get the oxygen to it, help microbes break this down. Got some lovely leaf litter in here as well. But I'm nearly there. Which is good, because we've been out over what? We've had a ton of rain. loads of rain recently. It's like when it was all dry back along, we were all probably in the same boat. Oh, we need rain. And it's the same old thing. You wish for it, it comes, and then it just stays forever and won't go. Absolute pain in the ass. But we're chomping through. Okay, it is so bloody windy outside. I'm just trying to video outside the cab and that ain't gonna work. So we're gonna have to do it from in here. Fresh wood chip, little pile. Next pile, you can still see like the tree litter down here, around there, and you can see bits of straw in it that's like really obvious. But if you come over to pile 3, it's a totally different thing. It's obviously more broken down, loads of wood chip in there. There's little bits of clump of straw stuff, but like, you know, it's like, I don't know if you see it there, it's just really browny. That lot there, could chuck it out now if you wanted to, but obviously second cut, which is actually not looking too bad, just over there. So that's something we want to get to soon. Whoa, telehandler's falling low. It's all tilting up here. But that pile there could go out now if we wanted to. Obviously not going to, so that'll be there for another month or 2. Everything might get one more turn. And by the time we do that next turn, there'll be hopefully 4 piles, and that, if we do get to the 4th pile, that'll be the most amount of compost we've had in quite a long time. So fingers crossed on that, and then that'll cover a grand, pretty awesome area, hopefully, fingers crossed. Anyway, I'm now going to go and, something to show you. Bit of fun, another thing that's been going on is we've been hatching chickens. So, a little bit of an experiment. Don't ask what breed they are, because quite honestly, no one has a clue. So, grass recovery. With all this rain, grass recovery's started getting really, really, really good. So, that's where they've been, that's where they are now. From all the fields that got hammered by the dry, hot June, it's all starting to come back really well. Like, and this area here is the last area it had the chicken shed, so it's had a whack of nitrogen and it's looking pretty dark and lush and lovely. Cows are going to be back out in a minute, and our cows aren't working quite like a dairy cow, so most of it's grass basically to just keep in condition. So they don't need a whole heap, and they do have a buffer of hay in the yard, which is basically what they've got from it's bales that aren't good enough for us to bale for turning the small bales. So I let them out. There's another week. Feels like it's flying by the moment. Between bits in this video, all I've been doing is baling and baling and baling, and all that Adam has been doing is delivering and delivering. Yeah. So that's pretty much all we've done. I'll bring you to close up so you can see your pretty face.
Handsome chap, and I.
Something.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Have you got any wise words for the end of the week?
Thank God it's Friday.
Thank God it's Friday.
And I'm not here next week, I'm on holiday.
He's on holiday. Gonna enjoy it?
Nope. 4 kids with me, mate. Not a chance.
Is lovely Blighty gonna give you some sunny weather?
No.
It's a bitch, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a bitch, mate. It's just rain.
Oh. Anyway. Weather, a farmer can never be happy with weather. So we all want sun now, and then as soon as we get sun, we want rain again.
Yeah, we can't win.
So we can't win. But thank you for watching. If you haven't yet done so, please
subscribe.
Give us a thumbs up. That'd be most appreciated. All videos on. There's always going to be a video on every Friday. Not next week, the week after. We're going to do a review of the
JCB 525, Justin.
God, that was so well. That was so well done, sir.
Smooth transition there, wasn't it?
Yeah, so well done. So well done. So, until next Friday, he won't see you, but I will. But thank you for watching this video. See you in the next one.
Cheers.